Hey, peace, love, and light, guys. It's your guy, Professor O, coming through with a dose of that good yo. Come everywhere like broken glass from around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round. Now, today, I want to talk about food scan here. But first and foremost, is literally not hear what you say. And what I mean by hearing, I'm not just saying that you just hear a sound. You be like, what is that? I'm talking about comprehension, I'm talking about understanding, empathetic, being empathic about the situation. Just truly overall being present in that moment. Why? Well, you know I gotta always give a little brief summary. Well, before I even get into that, you know I already got the handy dandy notebook. It's all in the spot that will make it hot. Who writes in spirit? Clearly your boy still does. Don't hate me because you ate me. Motivate, appreciate, never deviate. Maybe you need to levitate or meditate. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Before I even get more into it, I already wrote down the points, so let's get right down to it. To argue with a fool would be non-beneficial to your mental in every sense of the way. And what I mean by that is because you got to realize when you're, and I'm not talking about anyone who's ignorant, because we're all ignorant to some type of degree, to some sort of sense. Why? Because not everybody knows everything. Not everyone is present at all times. You know what I mean? We're all operating in our own singular path, figuring things out, going through our trials and tribulations, obligations throughout the day to master the week to make a good month. It is what it is. But what I am saying is, as far as being present in the moment, actually being comprehensible to the situation or having understanding or wanting understanding, that's a difference. That's when you want to change. That's when you're seeking some type of benefit. Some people don't want to change. Again, remember, I always talk about this. I haven't spoken about it in the previous time, but I spoke about it in many of my videos. It's not the eureka moment. It's not the aha. It's when the light turns on, you see the things for what they are. And that's on the inside. You see, you're ignorant to the fact. It's not just dirt. What I mean by when you see the dirt and you want to decide to pick up that dustpan and broom, it can be many of things. Literally, it can be many of things. But when you also, a part of seeing that dirt can be ignorancy. And ignorancy with arrogancy, meaning that you don't know and you don't care to know, or you're wrong and strong. And you can't be wrong and strong. You know what I mean? If you're wrong, just leave it alone. But if you want to be strong, it's not even, it all depends on what you deem as strong. Being loud and boastful, oh, this guy the third, that's not what strength is. True strength is silence, but I digress. But when the light turns on and you see that you're ignorantly arrogant, that is such a terrible trait to have, because there's a lot of individuals that don't want to change. They don't seek change. They're actually fine with living in shit. And that's the issue. And when I mean by living in shit to a degree, I'm not talking about in the physical sense, which in some cases may be, but I'm talking about where your mentality may lie in. You don't want to make a change. You fear to change because you don't want to put in the work to become that better person. You'd rather put on a facade and do it instead of actually doing the inner work. And when you're doing the inner work, it will show on the outer. But I digress. It is what it is. It happens to a degree. But there's no benefits when you're arguing with those type of individuals. This is why it's best to just either say your point's been spoken, they heard it, and if they're not willing to converse about it equally on some type of getting to some point of solution, you just walk away. I'm telling you, I've tested many spirits to gain some type of clarity and understanding with individuals that have this type of insight. The best thing to do when you're dealing with individuals like this is make your point, or not even make it at all, because the minute you start to even talk to it, it's like you're talking to a brick wall that can make a sound, but it's uncomprehensible. There's no solution there. It's not gonna work. So just don't even say anything at all. I digress. They hear what they want to hear, and usually it's only to benefit their boredom. Oof. Literally. Now this is when you're dealing with those individuals that have selective hearing in the situation, and literally they're picking your senses apart. They don't want to hear the whole thing because the whole thing makes sense. But if they pick it apart to their benefit, oh yeah, those are the individuals you want to stay away from, because they're not even doing it to reach a solution. They're doing it to either cure their boredom or to make their point seem more reasonable, or to make their point seem it has reason when it actually doesn't. But I digress. I'm sure we all deal with it. It is what it is. They don't care for reason. And that's just what it is right there. I'm gonna leave it at that. There's nothing to even expel on that. They just don't care for reason. I'm telling you, like, they don't. And I'm not ever saying to even enter in these bonds or relationships or interactions with a stony mind in that situation, because at the same time, there's some people that don't know. You'd be surprised how they literally don't know, and they're just used to it because it may have been part of their raising. Remember, error is generational. So you really don't, some truly don't know. And those are the ones that you could tell that they don't know, because when they hear a reasonable solution or a reasonable response, then it kind of wakes them up out of their stupor. They'd be like, oh, wow, oh, I didn't see things like that. Or, you know what I mean? It kind of snaps them out of it. But then that doesn't mean there's still not inner work to be done. Because with on top of that foolishness and arrogancy, ignorantly arrogant, there's a lot of trauma behind. It's so much that can happen for people that just choose to do those sorts of things. So you got to be very, very graceful with dealing with these individuals. Why? Because God giving you grace, you give grace likewise. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Come on now, you better keep up. All right now. Let them talk. They love hearing the sound of their own voice. And I mean that. Even me personally, and I'm always willing to listen and hear the situation out, because I love to learn, period. But when you're dealing with individuals such as these, they don't really care about reaching a solution. They just care about the pity pat, ricocheting, ignorancy, back and forth, who has the better shit, etc. so forth. It's very, very foolish. But dealing with individuals such as that, you really can't win that battle, because they don't care to win at all. They just care about their winning is the interaction, period. That's it. Like that's the W for them right there. It's not reaching to a solution or having the last word. No, the fact that you participated in their dickhead foolishness, that was the W. This is why you don't do that. You just look at them and just literally, they'll drown themselves out, because when they only hear their voice talking, etc. so forth, they'll most likely either A, stop talking, B, say something for you to respond to, which could be very disrespectful and try to push a button, or C, continue to keep going because they just like the sound of their voice. And once you drown them out, they'll realize they're just talking in the air. And then also, if they're very loud, you'll realize most of the time, some of them, if they have some reason left, they actually lower their volume because they're hearing themselves actually at a high value. Be surprised that these individuals don't actually hear the volume of how loud that they're actually talking, because they're used to the stupor conversation. So when you're dealing with situations and people that involve themselves in that, don't respond. You just look at them. And if you don't even do that sometimes. Literally exit from the situation. If you have no reason to be in that situation and there's no reasonable solution to be reached in this case and scenario, then leave. Literally walk away. That's the W. You do not have to participate. Why? Because you got to realize when you're operating at a frequency and when you elevate it to that level, you got to realize the minute you even participate in a situation or some type of scenario of that sense, you're lowering your frequency just a tad. Now, depending on how much you entertain it, depends on how much you lower it. You're gonna have to lower it a little bit just to bring others people up. It's very fine. That's easily to be done. But once you see that there's no solution to be read or be based, you never match their energy, because that's just foolish. You just give grace and you exit likewise. Why? Because at the same time, the individuals that are still on their path and they may not grow at that point, and if they do grow later, that will be a beautiful memory for them to reminisce on and to use an example for them to do likewise. Why? Because as God showed you grace, you showed them grace likewise. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. All right, keep up now. We're almost there. We're almost there. A soft answer turns away wrath, while hard words stirs up anger. That's one of my favorite scriptures right there. That's Proverbs 15:1, I believe. Is it? Yes, Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, while harsh words stirs up anger. Literally, as it says, like, this is why you never match your energy, because at the same time, to have an impactful statement doesn't necessarily need to have loud value behind it, or to say it in a very loud way. You don't have to. What you can say is just what it is at that point, because it's going to speak volume. Solutions don't have to be loud. They just have to be valuable. And the way that they're valuable is fixing the situation instantly. You don't have to. Even sometimes silence is the answer. Let your silence speak. Because you go, wow, this is the one. You dig what I'm saying? I digress. And again, that's it right there. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up right there. Again, this message is for the adept out there, for the master, the expert, the proficient, e-fish, and the selfish, and the one that's always doing it and never losing it, that's growing, that's glowing, that's going at all time. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And remember, speak good, do good, see good. Cause when it is good, it's all good. Can you dig it? And for the haters out there that love looking at your boy, make sure you look at my good side, cause you know that I'm sexy. I haven't even said that in a while, but I had to always say it at the end. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Peace, love, and light. I'll see you guys in the next video.